All right, everyone, welcome back. Now we have the question that I received from some audience as well. I want to open up and ask you this question. You think about achievement and also fulfillment. That's always going to be the question with a lot of people. What do you think is achievement and what do you think is fulfillment?
Okay, that's a really good question that I think most people should understand this um, with anything they do.
Yeah.
I believe that achievement is something that you get. So like I will get um, I will score 3 goals at soccer game. I will get 5 sales today.
Mm-hmm.
That's an achievement that you have. But whereas fulfillment, it's something that kind of fulfills you. It stays longer. So
Mm-hmm.
I will do this because there's a because to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get a PR because I have a family that I need to take care of. That's a big fulfillment that you will get. It's an achievement as well, but it just stays so much longer and it just yeah, it's a different feeling for sure. Achievement, it just lasts. You get like dopamine, and adrenaline
Mm-hmm.
for like I would say solid 20 to 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas fulfillment stays you forever, basically.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask the question of, people always think about goal setting.
Mhm.
Do you know or do you have any idea or advice for others on how to do goal setting?
Myself, I'm a salesperson, so I
Mm-hmm.
would set my day as oh, I'm gonna get 5 sales today. That's an achievement that I will be getting.
Mm-hmm.
But for fulfillment, I'll get 5 sales today. I'll go out and have a drink for myself. Fulfillment, I don't know how to explain it, to be honest with you. Yeah, back to like the life coaching that I had. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got the certification. That was a big achievement, but I felt the emptiness because I didn't have the right goal.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had the why goal, I think we kind of talked about this from last time. So having that why, like why I'm doing this, I'm going to be a life coach because I will serve people that are in need. That's gonna fulfill my goals basically. So
Mm-hmm.
it hits the why part of you.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the reason for doing anything, well, there's no point of you doing anything because it's just an achievement. There's
So,
nothing will fill you up basically.
mm-hmm. So I have a thinking here. If you have the reason behind what you do as well, and I'm thinking about, let's say, someone who is in the movie industry, and the reason why they're in the industry is to bring joy to people. So that's their reasoning, right?
Mhm.
But maybe there's a time where the actor or actress bump into certain difficulties or situations and they might have lost it, right? So is the reasoning enough to sustain that fulfillment, do you think?
So,
Is it enough to keep the person going? Because you do bump into challenges, situations happening in life, or difficulties, right?
mhm.
So is there any opinions or feedbacks or advices you can give to us?
I think for most people, I don't know if you heard this, but
Hmm.
at a difficult times, or like when you're downs, you gotta kind of refer back to where you started.
Hmm.
So that kind of brings the reason that you're doing the movie industry or whichever it is. You have to kind of come back, because people forget as time goes. You get used to whatever is going, like you get used to the industry and the career and everything,
Hmm.
and they just have that moment, oh, what am I doing here? And then I don't, what kind of thing? They
Yeah.
kind of feel lost. So that's why people actually need to refer back to how they started, to make
Hmm.
sure the burning desire, or it's kind of makes you going
Hmm.
per se.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. In the Chinese culture, there's a saying about that too. You
Mm,
never should forget where you came from, your feeling or the heart that you had from before.
mm-hmm,
And I feel like a lot of people, they forgot about that. And one of the things I heard or I saw reading somewhere is you should always have something that would remind you near you, maybe in your wallet, for example, right? Or
mm-hmm,
on your desk that you're working in the office. Anywhere that you have something that reminds you of maybe a while back or the reasoning for you to actually get started a
mm-hmm,
long time ago. And then when you think about that, then you trigger the memory and just keep yourself pushing forward.
mm, right. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people put their like their baby photos, like
Yeah.
their or their family photos, or like something like that, to
Mhm.
basically like get in the state.
And also to kind of add to the point as well, right? When we look at achievement and fulfillment, I feel like a lot of people forget about the word fulfillment. It's very subjective, right? If
Mm-hmm,
you change your meaning behind different concepts or your perspective, then you are going to be satisfied depending on yourself, right? Like I cannot put a category of how much you are going to feel fulfilled if that's only from my rules, not your rules. So we have to set our own guidelines to make ourselves fulfill.
mm-hmm,
Otherwise, if you don't have those, it's more like a machine without directions. Like you don't know what's happening, right? Even if you hit it, like we talk about the achievement, like let's say, oh, I got 5 sales today, and you never give yourself a reward. I think what you said was a good example of a rewarding mechanism where you hit the achievement and
mm-hmm,
then you're gonna get the reward to actually make yourself fulfill. So it's a materialistic way of making it um, accomplished. You know, that's going to be leading to more of not only self reflection, but someone that would be outside of yourself to hold yourself accountable, right?
mm-hmm.
Is that how you look at things when you coach people as well sometimes?
Yes.
That's the important point aspect with the people, right? Because I feel like most people in the society nowadays, we just work work or we do other stuff that would be in a routine, and then we
Mm-hmm,
forget about who we are or what's the purpose of why we're doing certain things. And obviously that just either drains you very much, like you're gonna get tired when you get back home and then you face your family or your significant others and you forget about why you started, right?
mm-hmm. Piggyback from for what you said with the subjective, the fulfillment is very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way that people should aim for, because you can't really rely on other people's opinions, because nowadays we are so relying on other people's opinion on whether it's right or wrong.
Mhm.
The answer for that is from you. Like, we cannot say, oh, that was great because you did this.
Hmm.
It doesn't make sense, because everything comes from within you. I cannot say, oh, you should do this because you will be fulfilled. You need to have your own boundaries and goals and like the core values. You just need to develop that in order for you to make decisions based on your values. I don't think people actually know what their core values are nowadays, because they get swayed by other people so much that they don't actually have, they kind of think, oh, I think I'm like this person. I think I'm like that sometimes.
Hmm.
But there's no like right answer. Oh, I'm like this because I believe in this. I value this. There's no such thing.
Hmm.
That is one of the reason why people get swayed by other people. That's very dangerous.
But also, the tricky part is sometimes you cannot definitively say you are chasing after certain things, especially when they are still in their young age in the society, right? Maybe they get influenced by their friends or their parents or even their teachers, and then they get confused, or maybe they don't even have anyone to talk with, right?
Mhm. And that is the reason why in the early on, if I were to go back early like 20s,
Hmm.
I would I would never listen to anybody. I would just do myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would just develop, like I would just ask myself, oh, who am I?
Yeah.
What do I like? What are my core values? I'll just ask all those questions until I find myself, and then everything else will be like come into play. Once you
Hmm.
know yourself, you can do anything you want, but not many people know who they are. That's the big issue here.
Yeah. So, and it really depends on the person's realization as well, right? It doesn't mean the age is necessarily a determining factor.
Mhm.
Maybe you have someone around you next year or 2 years ago that said something to you, and that just changed your perspective and even changed your life.
You're like one thought, one idea away from changing your life there. People should know this. Just one idea can change your life.
Yeah, and I think that topic is kind of tied with what we are talking about now with fulfillment as well, because you have to make a judgment between certain actions or behaviors that you do. Is it making you stronger or helping you or empowering you? Or is it going to be damaging you or hurting you or disempowering you, right?
Hmm.
And that's all up to you. You can think about that as a negative, like maybe you get stuck in the traffic. Some people will start honking or yelling at people, what's happening, and then starting complaining. Or you could just take the time and relax and maybe listen to music or even listen to a podcast.
Hmm. We have all the choice,
Yeah.
and we have all the power to basically do anything. Oh, I just thought of this.
Yeah.
So achievement is like a tangible thing,
Hmm.
whereas fulfillment is intangible.
Hmm.
People lack in believing things that are intangible.
Mm-hmm.
They need to see something. So, like getting 5 sales. Oh, people actually see I got 5 sales because it's on the leaderboard or
Hmm.
whichever it is. But whereas fulfillment, nobody can see it but for yourself. That's the best part, I would say.
Hmm.
And nobody really can say anything. Nobody really can tell if you're fulfilled or not. but only yourself, that's the best part. You get to hide it, you get to express it. That's totally up to you have the full control.
That's right.
Yeah. So I would definitely go for the fulfillment over achievement. Achievement is temporary, fulfillment is permanent.
That's a very, very well said, which puts this into our audience brain to have them think about this. Right?
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. So that's it for today. Let's stay tuned for next time. I'm sure that we're gonna receive more questions for next time, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Leave your comments or questions or ask anything, and we'll talk about it for next podcast. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for listening.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye for now.